Hello everyone, welcome back to Innovate Code Hub YouTube channel. I am Damit. Today I am going to explain about HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As a first, I will explain about the IDE which I use to implement code in this video. I use Visual Studio Code for the code implementation. You can download Visual Studio Code using this link. This link I will attach with my video description. You can go through this URL and download Visual Studio Code as you want. Once you download and install Visual Studio Code, you can create separate folder to your project. I have created a separate folder called sample project, and you can open using Visual Studio Code. As a first, I will explain about the HTML. Before explain about HTML, I will give some small introduction about the HTML. HTML is hypertext markup language, which is standard language used to create a web pages. It's backbone of every web pages you can see on the internet. HTML provides the structure and layout for the content such as text, image, links and multimedia. Make it possible for web browser to render display websites. That's the main purpose of the HTML and meaning of the HTML. I will explain what is the structure of the HTML and HTML tags, elements, attributes. As a first, I am going to create a separate file called index.html. We can use this icon to create new file. I am going to create separate file called index.html. Okay. Once I create a HTML file, we can add this file is a HTML file. For that, we can use doctype HTML. Once we add doctype HTML, we can mark this file is a HTML file. I am going to explain about the structure of the HTML. When it comes to the structure of the HTML, we have multiple tags such as main tag is HTML. Inside HTML, we have head tag and we have body tag. This is the main structure of the HTML. Okay, I will explain about the tags. When it comes to tags, tags can be head, body. In this example, head and body both are tags in the HTML. Those are main tags in the HTML. Head and body tags are behave like main tags. Head tags contain meta information such as style. Body tag contains the visible of content. When we define some content in the HTML page, we can define visible of the content inside body tag. This is the main purpose of head and body tags. Head tag is used to add meta information into the web page, and body tag we can use to add body content of the web page. These are the main purpose of tags. Okay, I will explain about the HTML element. Okay, when it comes to HTML elements means opening tag and closing tag. Both are considering with together. We can call element. I will give a small example. P tag. I am text. This one is a, we can say this one is a element in the HTML. Opening tag, closing tag. Within some content, we can call opening tag and closing tag and content with together. This is the element of the HTML. Okay, I'm going to explain about attribute of HTML. I will explain about attribute of HTML. For that, I get image tag in HTML. Image tag contain src and old attributes. src, which we can use to add image URL in here, and old we can use describe the image. src and old both are behave like a attribute in HTML. There are a lot of attributes in the HTML, just like a class. Class also behave like a attribute. Okay, these are the main concept which are belongs to HTML. I have explained HTML page structure and what is the meaning of HTML tags, what is the meaning of HTML element, what is the meaning of HTML attributes. Again, I will explain. I can add class in here, sample style. Sample style is a class which we can use to style paragraph. Okay, I will explain again what is the structure, what is the tag, what is the element, what is the attribute. When it comes to HTML page structure can have main tags like head, body. HTML is a main tag. HTML tag is a main tag. Inside HTML tag, we have head tag, we have body tag. Head tag we can use to add metadata to our HTML page, just like styles. Also we can add inside the head tag. Inside the body tag, we can use to content of the web page, just like what are the paragraph, what are the headings which are belongs our web page. We can use to body tag for that. This is the structure. These are the tags HTML, head, body. These are the tags in HTML page. And when we considering opening tags and closing tag with together, we can call to this one is an element. Okay, I have added sample class to paragraph tag. Class is behave like an attribute in the paragraph element. In this element, class is behave like an attribute in the HTML. I am going to explain about CSS. I have added two meta tags in my head and I have added title also. I will explain how to show the result of our HTML page. We can we can we can do multiple ways. First way is, once we create a HTML file, you can see in your file folder and you can double click and open in web browser. This is one way. Other way is, there is a live server in the Visual Studio Code. You can use live server to show what is the result of our HTML page. You can install live server into your Visual Studio Code. If you are a Windows user, you can press Ctrl Shift X. Once you press Ctrl Shift X, you can see extension panel in the left side. Once you type live server in here, you can see this one in the top of the search extension panel. You can install live server to your Visual Studio Code. I also install the live server to my Visual Studio Code. I no need to install this one. I already installed the live server to my project. Then you can see there is a option in the bottom of the Visual Studio Code. You can click on the go to live server. Okay, once you click on the go to live server, it will be open in port 5500 and your index HTML file like this. I move on to two different screen to do my code changes. In here, show my output in the web browser. When we are using live server, we no need to refresh the web browser to show what are the changes we have made in the HTML page. For an example, I have made some changes in my code level. Once I press save Ctrl S, it automatically refresh and you can see the result of my HTML page. You can use live server to do that. If you don't use live server, you have to save changes and you have to manually refresh your HTML file related window. Okay, I have used live server to future implementation. I am going to explain about CSS. As I said, we can add styles to our head tag inside our head tags. Head tags can be used to add metadata just like this, and title mean you can see in the this tab title HTML CSS and JS example. You can see title. I am going to add some styles inside the head tag like this. I'm going to add style tags here, and I'm going to add some style to my paragraph. Okay, I'm going to add font size as 20px. Once we add font size, we can press Ctrl S. It automatically apply to my paragraph. When we are defining some another elements in the my body tag, we can use to that tags to in the inside the style tag to style. Okay, I am going to add another element. I'm going to add button, and I mark button text as submit. You can see button in here. I'm going to add some style to button. Okay. Background color. I'm going to add this one. Okay, you can see background color of the button has been changed according to my style. Can add font size as 14 and border none. Okay, then I can add cursor as point, also add padding 10px 20px. Okay, top and bottom 10px, left and right 20px. I have added padding just like this. Okay, as we want, we can change style in here. This is the usage of CSS in our HTML page. I am going to explain about basic understanding of JavaScript. Okay, I am going to explain about JavaScript. For that, I am going to add separate div in here. Okay, in a text of the div, I have added the text inside div, and I am going to add particular ID to this div. ID sample div. Okay, I have added I have added an ID to div tag. You can see inner text of div in here. I am going to use JavaScript to change inner text of this div. Normally, we can use JavaScript related changes inside the body tag. We can use script tag for that. I am going to change inner text of this div when I click on the submit button. We can define a function inside submit button. When we press submit button, as it trigger, we can use on click event to click submit button. Okay, this is the method. It will be called when we press on submit button. Okay, inside the script tag I am going to add this function. Can use function name this one. We can define JavaScript variable using var keyword. I am going to define text of div. We can get text of the div using this ID like this. Document get element by ID. We can add ID in here. Okay, this is the, we can mark this one as a div element. We can get div element using get element by ID. I am going to change inner text of the div element dot inner text. I mark inner text as clicked on submit button. Okay, you can see inner text of the div is inner text of the div. When I press on submit button, it has been changed to clicked on submit button. I have defined a function to on click event in the button. Then I have defined that function inside script tag. Then I have gotten the div element using ID of the div tag. Once we get div element, we can access inner text of the element. I have assigned this text to my div element inner text. This is the basic usage of JavaScript. There are a lot of features belongs to JavaScript. This is the basic understanding of the JavaScript. Again, I will explain what are the things which I teach you in today's video. I have explained HTML structure, HTML file structure. When it comes to HTML file structure, we can categorize head and body as main tags. Inside the head tag, we can add metadata and title, style, like that elements we can add into head tag. We can add what is the content of the HTML page. We can add that changes inside the body tag, as well as we can use script tag to define JavaScript related function, logics, everything we can add into script tag. Okay, today's video I needed to teach you about basic understanding of the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As a summary, I have explained about HTML file structure and how to manage CSS in the HTML page, as well as I have defined sample JavaScript function in here. Okay, today's video I needed to explain about basic understanding of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In the next video, I hope to explain in-depth concepts which are belongs to CSS, HTML and JavaScript. I think you could grasp my explanation. If you have comment or suggestion, please put that into comment section. Thanks for watching. See you on next video.